Are there extraterrestrial beings visiting our world? For decades, people have been fascinated by UFOs or unidentified flying objects. Most of these cases can be explained with evidence to back up the explanation. However, some cases are never solved, leaving behind many questions and doubts. This is one such case. On March 13, 1997, thousands of people across Arizona witnessed hundreds of massive, silent lights hovering over the Phoenix area. Despite countless theories, no one has ever been able to come up with a satisfactory explanation for what they saw that night. Welcome to my channel. And today, let's find out more about this mysterious incident known as the Phoenix Lights. The year is 1997 and the location is Phoenix, Arizona. The time is around 6:52 p.m. on March. People were just starting to settle down after a long day when suddenly they looked up into the night sky to see an astonishing sight. Hundreds of massive, brilliant lights were silently floating across the dark canvas of the night sky. They were so bright that they lit up the entire city of Phoenix. People came out of their homes and offices in awe to witness the spectacular view. Some thought it was the beginning of the apocalypse. Others stood in suspense wondering if it was a scene from a movie playing out above them. These weren't fireworks and there wasn't a war going on. People watched in amazement as the lights moved slowly and majestically through the air, not making a single sound. It was as if the very sky was breathing with these lights as they rose and fell like a gigantic living thing. At first, the lights appeared to be coming from low-flying airplanes. However, as they continued to hover in the same position in the sky, people realized that this was something extraordinary. It was like nothing any of them had ever seen before. Amongst all these people who witnessed this strange phenomenon, two stood out: Peter Figueroa, a local television news reporter, and Mark Spittler, a keen amateur astronomer. Peter rushed out of his house after seeing the lights and began filming them with his video camera. Mark, on the other hand, grabbed his telescope and started observing the lights intently. According to Peter's video footage, the lights were estimated to be around 30 miles long and 6 miles wide, resembling a gigantic V-shape. In his report for the local news channel, Peter described the event as, quote, "It was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. You could see these lights descending and ascending. At one point, it looked like there were 3 separate craft hovering in the sky. Unfortunately, the footage was somewhat shaky as Peter filmed it from the ground. But even then it captured the awe and wonder of the moment. Mark, on the other hand, managed to capture a much clearer image of the lights using his telescope. His photos showed that the lights were moving in perfect unison, which made it highly unlikely that they were stars or a meteor shower. Additionally, the lights seemed to be way too bright to be natural phenomena. As the night wore on, the lights continued to dance in the sky, leaving the witnesses both mesmerized and confused. Around 8:30 p.m., they began to disappear, only to reappear again at 10:30 p.m. Once again, they moved in perfect unison, disappearing and reappearing intermittently until midnight. The entire spectacle lasted for nearly 6 hours, leaving behind an experience that none of the witnesses would ever forget. News of the strange lights spread like wildfire, leaving people all over the United States wondering what the spectacle could possibly be. Local news channels scrambled to cover the story, and soon it became the talk of the town. Everyone was eager to get to the bottom of the mystery, and the theories began to fly. Some believed that the lights were nothing but the flares used by military jets soaring high above them. However, this theory quickly fell apart as the Air Force denied that any such activity was taking place in the area. Others suggested that the lights were caused by a meteor shower, but that, too, was ruled out since there was no record of such an event happening that night. Even the most outlandish theories found their supporters. Some believed that the lights were aliens visiting from another planet. After all, what else could explain the perfectly straight lines and silent movement of the lights? Amidst all the confusion, one fact was clear: nobody had a definitive answer for what people had seen that night. The official agencies involved in the investigation were no closer to solving the mystery than anyone else. The lack of concrete evidence left people with more questions than answers. Was it a top-secret military operation? Was it a bizarre weather phenomenon, or was there something more extraterrestrial going on? In the days following the incident, investigators conducted numerous tests to try and identify what the lights might have been. Chemists analyzed soil samples from the alleged crash site, while physicists examined the air density and atmospheric conditions. But despite their best efforts, they were unable to come up with any conclusive results. As time went on, the incident began to fade from the public's memory. However, it continued to live on in the minds of those who witnessed it firsthand. For them, the Phoenix Lights would forever remain a symbol of the unexplained, a reminder that there are some things in life that defy rational explanation. Today, the case remains officially unsolved, leaving people to speculate about what really happened that night. Theories abound, with some believing that the lights were a secret military project, while others believe that they were extraterrestrial in origin. The lack of concrete evidence has allowed these theories to thrive with each passing year. One of the most popular theories is that the lights were part of a top-secret military operation. According to this theory, the lights were actually fighter jets flying in formation. This theory seems plausible considering that military bases are located in the vicinity of where the lights were seen. However, the military has consistently denied that any such operation was taking place that night. Furthermore, witnesses reported seeing hundreds of lights, which makes the military explanation seem rather inadequate. Another popular theory is that the lights were caused by a rare atmospheric phenomenon known as ball lightning. However, this theory is not widely accepted since ball lightning is a relatively unknown phenomenon and has never been observed on such a large scale. Additionally, there were no reports of thunderstorms or other electrical activity in the area that night, which makes the ball lightning theory even less plausible. Perhaps the most intriguing theory is that the lights were extraterrestrial in origin. According to this theory, the lights were spaceships from another planet that were visiting Earth. This theory is supported by the fact that the lights were seen in perfect unison, which makes it unlikely that they were natural phenomena. Additionally, the lights were silent, which is unusual for aircraft. Of course, this theory is highly speculative and there is no concrete evidence to support it. Despite the lack of a definitive answer, the Phoenix Lights continue to captivate people all over the world. The case has been featured on numerous television shows and documentaries and has inspired countless books and articles. People are still fascinated by the mystery surrounding the Phoenix Lights and eager to learn more about this bizarre phenomenon. In conclusion, the Phoenix Lights incident remains one of the most perplexing mysteries of our time. Despite numerous investigations and theories, we still don't know what the lights were or where they came from. This case is a reminder that there are still many things in our universe that we do not understand, and that there may be some things that we simply never will. What do you think about this case? Let me know your thoughts. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.